All right, so you don't have to be realistic. I remember myself 3 years ago when I was living with my parents, when I was, wishing there is some ways to make more money, to be more independent, to start building the life that I'm living right now. And I remember that I was around with people who was telling me, well, they were telling me, are you sure? You don't think that you can make money with this? Or you think that you're gonna build a good life doing the stuff that you're doing now? And for me, is try, they generate their own excuse so they cannot escape from that. And the reason that I found is because they cannot visualize themselves in the future as their version that is already living the life that they want to live. And my point with this is really simple. Like, when someone, like, if you want to live a different type of lifestyle and you are still surrounded and you try to say, yeah, I mean, I don't mind, I or a positive influence on me, and I got friends that they are go out. And let me tell you something which frustrate. I remember myself like 2 3 years ago that I was just hanging out and I was like, you know, this is not affecting me in any like particular way. But I start like doing different stuff. I start surround with people who was more closer to my mentality and what I wanted to live in the future, and that makes me feel more comfortable. It makes me focus on my goals without feeling bad. For example, in my case, it was, I don't know, focus on working out, focus on eating healthy, reading books, learning, and do this self-improvement, the self-care. And I remember that I was around with people who was telling me, what you doing? Like, I mean, you are not like an influencer, or you are not like, I don't know. That's weird, bro. And it for me, it was enough to realize that that was the wrong people. Even if they are family members, I'm not saying to you that you have to, do your own stuff and stop talking with the people who are surround with you, that they are like influenced in a positive way. But you have to be honest. You have to be honest with yourself and with the people who is around you. Because let me tell you one thing. There is one book which is one of the best. Is How to Gain Friends. How to Gain Influence and Gain Friends. Is from James Clear. It's a really good book. And there is one quote which is absolutely true. Tell me your five friends and I will tell you who you are. And some people, they are always finding the excuse to say, I'm just hanging out, I'm just enjoying. But if you really want to be the next version of yourself, and I'm saying this to the people that they don't want to be the average, they want to be, even more and a better version of themselves. Because this is not about all the people, this is about you, and this is about your next version of yourself, and this is about of how much you do want it. And at the end of the day, what really matters is the way that you are gonna create the life that you want in the future. And that way is like start from the very beginning on your mind, because you have to believe in yourself. Even if you are in this situation where you are skinny, you are, I don't know, you don't have enough confidence, you are not consistent, you don't have discipline, you are just broke in all aspects, and you want to go for more. So there is something that not many people says, and this moment where you are, that you want to go more, that you want to gain more, but you recognize the situation where you are, is one of the best things that could ever happen to you. Because this moment where you are deciding what you have to do, like what you want to do and which way is the best, this is the way where you are at your peak in terms of mentality. Because imagine, in my situation, that skinny guy with lack of confidence, without knowledge, without nothing, it makes me live the life that I'm living now, just because I click and I decide to move on and start surrounding with people that actually are better for me, because they influence me in a very positive way. And those people, I take it as a motivation, because the place where those people are at that moment, it was the place that I want to be in the future. So I start trying to understand the way that they live. So I start reading books, I start learning by myself as well, and applying, and I'm making mistakes, because you are not wrong if you recognize the situation where you are, and you know that you are wrong, but you know the person that you want to become in the future. The first step is done, and you have to be proud of yourself, because if you realize where you are and you are not doing nothing, that's your fault, and that's all in your hands, is under your control. But if you know where you are, you know that you are without confidence, with lack of motivation, without knowledge, but you try to find a way to do different things, to have different results, that's a completely different mindset, and you have to be proud of yourself, because this is going to be the beginning of the next version of yourself that is going to be, the present in the future. But you have to create it first here, and once you convince your mind that you are already that person that you want to become, you have more than the 50% done. And most of the time people say to me, how, like, it was easy, or it like you always were like really functional with your body. I remember you when you were young, you always wanted to do something different. And I can tell that my education from my parents, it was completely different that I'm doing right now. Like, every time that my parents or my family members or the people that surround me in that moment when I was growing up telling me, you have to do this, or you should do this, or are you sure that this is going to be the best way for you? So all the things that happens to me, I take it as a motivation, and I take it as a machine, okay, to start applying all these things that those people were saying to me. I was doing the opposite, just to see how it goes, because you have to understand that you have to do different things if you want to have different results. Nothing is going to change if you are doing the same thing every single day. Like, there is no fucking way that you are going to change, because imagine, you have to build the momentum, you have to build the mindset first that is going to allow you to convince yourself that you are already that version that is making the results that you want now in the present, okay? But first you have to convince yourself, and then is where you start creating the habits, is where you start putting the work on. And of course, this is my opinion and this is my point of view. This is not the only point of view that you are going to get on your entire life. But let me tell you one thing, which is, not many people understand the importance or the influence that the environment plays on them. Because of course, the only one that is gonna make the click is you. Even if you surround with the good people, but you have it still with the with the wrong mentality, nothing is gonna change. So that's what I'm saying. If you surround yourself with the good people, with the people that influence you in a positive way, you have more than the 50% done. But then you have to create the version of yourself on your mind first, because that's what happens to me. Literally, I I I start living, this life before on my mind. And it sounds crazy. On the last video I mentioned the same, and it really, how can I say that, it really changed your mentality, just because you start living the way that you want to live in the future, but first on your mind. So it's not too crazy, or it's not gonna be like out of place if you want to be living, I don't know, out of your country, if you want to, I don't know, have this physique that you always wanted, and all the things that you see now really far from you are gonna be really close, because first you are gonna live that on your mind, and then you are gonna be focusing on what you're doing way by way to be more closer to your goal. So that's the message for today, 30th of July. Hope we will see you in the next video. And yeah, welcome to this channel where I'm dropping facts and I'm talking about, mindset training, and yeah, how to be a better version of yourself. And on this journey, I just want to share my own experience, my point of view. So yeah, see you on